Hello, Oracles! Well, we saw another wonderful day today at a Tesla stock outperforming the market. Tesla was up 1.5% when the entire market was red. We had the S&P down 0.4% and the NASDAQ was down 0.75%. So why is this? Well, we anticipated this morning that we may see some red based upon the OPEC meeting over the weekend, and we started off actually green, and then we went red into the course of the day, kind of fluctuated a little bit, but Tesla got a very nice upgrade from Wolfe Research. They upgraded from a hold rating to a buy rating and moved their price target up to $360. Now, we'll get into some of the price targets and analyst ratings in a moment. Just wanted to go over a few other pieces of news first. So Alexandra over on Twitter, as we have been discussing about the Moody's credit rating upgrade, she finally fired back with an email over to them stating, a couple of very simple principles where Moody's is saying, hey, we want to see more models coming out. The Model 3 is now 5 years old. And she's like, hey, the Toyota Camry was out in 1982. The Ford F-150 was out in 1975. You're still giving them good credit ratings, so what's going on there? So she fired back at them, still waiting to see if they're going to respond to that. But I was talking to Alexandra as well, and we'll be having her on the channel. We're going to be hashing out some schedules, so I will have her on the channel here. Let me know what you guys want to ask her for questions. So we'll discuss credit ratings, we'll discuss other financial analytical tools and things like that. So whatever questions you guys have, go ahead and fire them away in the comments. I'll put them aside, and when I get to meet up with Alexandra and decide what time we're going to do, I'll let you guys know. So the next little bit of news we have is about Twitter. Gary Black had tweeted out how today they had their arguments. They had 3 hours, they had 90 minutes each side to be able to argue their case on this whole entire Twitter deal. So we'll see how that went. Elon was there and he was basically tweeting while he was there talking about Twitter. Kind of hilarious, but it sounds like, Elon has basically said, everybody who is involved or could potentially be involved in this, he has said, please comply with what is going on, but they can't control what their actions are and what these people say. But Elon has said from their standpoint, said to comply with whatever is asked of them. So we'll find out what's going on. Hopefully this Twitter overhang can end soon. We know that October 17th is the court date. We'll see if anything can transpire before then. Maybe they come out with a different deal. Maybe they decide to throw the case out of court. Don't know, lots to go through, but today they had those arguments going back and forth. And now before we get into analyst ratings, we've got Trip Chowdry coming out and saying that he is increasing his Q4 deliveries forecast to 511,000 vehicles. Now previously I have had mine over 500,000 for the last 2 quarters, but with the EV tax credit that came out, I dropped mine a little bit just for deliveries. My production is still over 500,000, but deliveries I dropped down, assuming there's going to be a good chunk of people that are going to push off into the new year. I don't know how Tesla is going to handle that, but either way, the way I'm looking at it is whatever gets pushed off into next year is just going to be a much more massive Q1 of 2023 than a Q4 of 2022. There's not going to be any lost sales in there. It's just going to be that deliveries are pushed off by a quarter. So we may still hit over 500,000 deliveries in Q4. So Trip thinks that we are going to hit that. We shall see. Let me know in the comments below what you think we're going to hit for deliveries in Q4. So now we're going to get into the analyst ratings and price targets, and I only went over the ones that I saw for the last month. I put down in the description below a link to Benzinga where I had gotten all of these from. There's a lot more ratings that are out there currently, but I just picked up the last months based on what Benzinga had. So I'm going to list those off here right now for you guys. Now when I look at analyst ratings, for me I look at what is their rating and what upgrades have we seen from those ratings. So as I said previously, we had Wolfe Research come out and move theirs up from a hold to a buy. That is significant for me. And they also increased their price target to $360. So what I pay attention to is the upgrading of the rating, and then I also pay attention to increasing of price targets. Because when you're looking at a lot of people in their research, and you'll see a lot of bears are a significantly lower price target, maybe they're at a sell. But when you see a sell rating, but a price target increase, that tells me that even the bears think that Tesla is going to grow nicely over the next couple of years. So this is what I look at when I'm paying attention to these, but I kind of take a look at all of them, see where the median is, where the trends are going. So for me, when it comes to analyst price targets and analyst ratings, I look at the trends of everything all together. That's the way I look at it, because individually things can be all over the place. And so currently right now, based on the most recent price targets and analyst ratings that we have, there are 14 buy ratings, 2 overweight ratings, 3 hold ratings, 2 underweight, and 2 sell. Now again, there's a lot more ratings that are out there. Some just have not been updated in the last month. Again, these are just the last month. But the average price target for all of these analysts is $307. So still a significant upside from where we are today. And so I'll just run down the quick list of what we had in the last month. So we've got Lache over at Wolfe Research upgraded from the hold to a buy with a $360 price target. We've got Citigroup is a sell rating, but they increased their price target from $108 to $141. That's a significant jump in a price target for a bear sell rating. And then we have Berenberg with a hold rating and a $290 price target. We've got Morgan Stanley overweight at $383, Jeffries at a buy rating at $350, Deutsche Bank at a buy rating of $375. We've got Piper Sandler overweight rating, and he increased his price target from $344 to $360. We've got Wedbush outperform, who also raised their price target from $333 to $360. And then Pierre Ferragu, who has a price target of $530. And so again, for me, and I look at all of you guys, you've got your price targets. There's a lot of people on social media that have their price targets, and a lot of people on social media are a bit more bullish than a lot of these analysts. What we have seen in the past is a lot of these analysts kind of chase the numbers. So they're always constantly, like every quarter, they're going to be increasing their price targets to try and catch up to what they think the next one's going to be. Whereas many of us on social media are like, all right, well, we are seeing what the end of the year is going to look like for Tesla. Tesla continuously outperforms the numbers that they set down. So we seem very bullish at the time that we come out with our price targets. But in reality, we end up actually being relatively close with our price targets for the most part on average for us social media analysts. And then we're seeing all of the Wall Street analysts just kind of catching up to it. So they're getting closer as the quarter gets into it. But at that point, they're now just chasing it. So, hey, we've hit these numbers. We're going to increase our price targets. Whereas many bulls and social media analysts are like, we don't need to increase our price targets because we kind of knew that was coming, so we already set ourselves up for that. And so as I see price targets continuously getting raised, as I see more and more increases of ratings for them, these are the fundamentals when it comes to an analysis standpoint that I pay attention to. So it's not an actual true fundamental of the company, but when we're looking at, Wall Street analysts looking at the company and the stock and how they're going to play this, I then look at all the funds and institutions that are going to be getting into these stocks. And Tesla having this kind of a rating and these kind of upgrades tells me that fundamentally from the Wall Street standpoint, it is going to be an even better buy in the future. And just to break down Wolfe Research's reasoning for an upgrade, a lot of it comes down to the Inflation Reduction Act. So because of the $7,500 EV tax credit, he sees this as a big boon for the company. It's going to be, basically a saving grace for when it comes to legacy automotive makers. That's my take on it. But this just gives Tesla basically $7,500 per vehicle that they can then throw onto their bottom line. And this is massive for Tesla. Again, we've talked about it before with their pricing power. And if it's going to be $7,500 for whatever vehicles are basically produced and sold, and we know that every single vehicle that Tesla produces is going to get sold, that means that every single vehicle delivered is going to give $7,500 in an EV tax credit, except for the S, the X, and the Performance Model 3 currently. So because Tesla produces way more vehicles than anyone else, Tesla is going to get the largest share of this EV tax credit of all of the automotive makers that are out there. So because of that, when it comes to their bottom line, he has increased their 2025 EPS from $12.70 up to $16. I mean, that's significant. And when it comes to the EV tax credit, Lache over at Wolfe Research said, "We believe this development is far from fully appreciated. By 2025, the US government may be directing incentives worth close to $11 billion to Tesla and their customers. We expect this to almost certainly influence OEM profitability." So again, the profits are going to be there. Tesla's just going to be getting all of this money significantly more in profits. So huge reasons why a lot of these analysts are upgrading Tesla and the price targets, because Tesla is going to be producing the most. They're going to be bringing in the most revenues from this. They're going to be able to add more to their bottom line than anyone else. So again, when I look at these analyst ratings, I go by the trends and then I go by the things that they're talking about. And trending wise, we're looking at a lot of these analysts looking at this EV tax credit as a reason that Tesla is going to perform even better in the future than they already were. So these are the little pieces pieces that I pay attention to. The price targets are great to look at, they're exciting, but realistically there's so many different factors that are playing into each one of these price targets that when I look at the majority of them are on the upside, that's good to look at. When I look at the average is a much higher upside than there is for a downside, that is what I'm looking at. When I'm looking at bears with sell ratings that are increasing their price targets, that is also significant. So how did that play into the charts today? Well, I think that may have been a reason why Tesla outperformed the market today, because that was a huge upgrade for them. So we still have the Twitter overhang, as Gary had said, which is probably holding us up a little bit, but we're moving steps in the right direction to get there. So with the entire market being down, Tesla outperforming, it is still in a downward channel. So the downward channel that we have been talking about, we are still in that. The RSI is at 44, so still on the lower but middle range area. Volume is picking up a little bit. We are at 55 million shares trading hands today. So not to where we were before, but we're picking up a little bit. Again, going into September, I think we are going to see this. So again, we're still in the same path we've been on, and we can still see some green days despite us being on a downward channel. So I was looking to add a little bit more today at 265. We came close to that. It was a little bit over 265. I am still going to be patient and wait. I think we are going to come down a little bit further. I still did add my normal $20 today. So that got me another full share because I just accumulate once I get to that full share. I then add it over to my TD Ameritrade account and just do a swap on that. So I was able to move that over today, but I'm still anticipating us falling further, and as we do, I will add heavier on top of that $20 that I do every day. So all in all, it was nice to see the stock outperform today. We'll see how we go continuing forward. Sometimes we see ratings like this come out, we get a little boost in the stock, and then it does sell off a little bit afterwards with some profit taking. So if we see a little bit red tomorrow, I'm not going to be too concerned about it. So also, I wanted to ask you guys, I know I've been trying to get on here and get some more visuals for you guys. You know, the live streams are great for me to be able to do that, and I could do that for you guys once a week without a problem. But if you guys want to see them, maybe I'll do a live stream, and maybe I'll do like a 20-minute live stream in the evening, a little less, Q&A, so I can just get the video out there, but at least I can share with you guys. I don't have this setup done yet so that I can be able to do an actual video like this with the shareable screens. I don't have the technology to be able to do that. I don't have the technological prowess to do it, and I don't have the time to do all the editing either yet. But I can definitely do live streams to be able to share it, so at least I can get that content out to you guys. So just let me know if you guys would like to see that. Maybe a couple of nights a week I can do that. Maybe if there's something important that I want to show in the charts, or something like today, I could have gone over all of the price targets that were out there and given you the visuals on that instead of just putting them in the description. Let me know your guys' thoughts on that as well. Let me know what you guys think about all the analyst ratings that are out there and what you guys feel about them. Do you actually pay attention to them? Do you follow the trends like I do? Do you just follow certain ones and think that others are a joke? Like a Gordon Johnson. Let me know your thoughts on that. Because for me, a lot of these things I do just squirrel away, and I was like, all right, these are my little nuggets of information. And I was like, yeah, we saw a little green today, but if we see red later, I'm like, these things are just telling me that we're just spooling up so much more energy, and this is going to be just the rocket fuel that we are using to go to the moon later, and we're just waiting to use it. So to me, those are just the little nuggets that I put on the inside, and just hold those for my back pocket and wait for us to hit that moment where we can really take off. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support and feedback. If you have not subscribed, please do so down below. Sign yourself up for notifications. I am over on Twitter at OracleTim1. I share all of the latest Tesla news, pertinent stock market information, and all of my daily trades. We do have a Discord chat. That link is down in the description. And if you'd like to support the channel any further, we do have a Patreon. That link is also in the description. Thank you so much. Have a great one.